Good morning, good morning. Monday, new week. Just put my tweet out and we're good. Well, I hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a bit of an extended one since we didn't stream Friday, I guess it was. Um, had a final appointment with the physiotherapist. I say final, and that he gave the green light that I am supposedly cured for the time being. Um, uh, the vertigo thing that I had, I think it's like BPV or something. It's like, I don't know the official name for it. Something to do with like positional vertigo. It can come and go as it pleases. From what we gathered, the last time I had it was like 4 years ago, so I'm hoping it's about as long before the next episode. But at least now we kind of know the exercises that I can do to kind of fix it or whatever. But yeah, so I'm off my medications. I yesterday was actually the first full day that I uh, uh, got to be without any. I had a little bit of jaw pain, but they said that it's just residual stuff. Yeah, I say supposedly because it's not really. Apparently, those that have this vertigo, this positional vertigo, it's not like one of those end all cure all kind of things. It's kind of like when you have like eczema or something, you can treat it, but there's always a chance it'll come back. So I've had issues with it in the past, but this was like the worst one so far. But hopefully we've got it sorted. But I'm doing much, much better now. Um, so hopefully not too many problems with that anymore, at least for the time being. Uh, let's see. Happy to say that we've got 4 folks that I'm aware of that is working on this month's CBDC so far. I installed a couple of them last week, and then I've sent out codes for a couple more over the weekend. So I'm looking forward to how those turn out. Um, I think 3 of them are on EU side and 1 is on NA side, or will be. I just sent them the code this morning. Hey, Poi, and good morning, Bones. Glad you guys could join. I know Bones won't be here for very much longer. I kind of got a late start. I was sidetracked with some other things and I didn't get on as early as I would have liked. But we're here. So anyway, just a quick recap. I'm doing good. Yesterday was just, not yesterday, Friday was just, I had a doctor's appointment, got moved up, and everything's okay. No more meds for the moment, and seem to be doing okay. Uh, it's just one of those weird things, I guess. When they say it's not in your head, apparently mine is actually in my head. So, um, yeah. So let's get back to the project. Since we worked on some interior stuff last time, we're going to switch it to some exterior stuff. I figured we could go ahead and work some more on this little garden area. I don't really know what exactly we're going to do. We're just going to try out some. Oh, okay, Bones. Is that weird switching shifts like that? I would think that would like confuse your body clock or something. I mean, do you get more money for being on the shift, that kind of thing, or is it just, I don't know, I think I would have trouble adjusting. I imagine it's something like what, so many weeks one shift and so many weeks the other shift, something like that. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a fake well here, using it as a flower bed kind of thing, and I figure we're just going to add some more elements here. This stuff is just kind of, it's not necessary. Primarily, we're looking for, the house itself to be decorated. But for those of you that want to add some extra little elements, maybe this will give you some ideas for things that you could do. I mean, you could do, instead of or in addition to a little wishing well potted area, you could do like a wheelbarrow type of thing. Um, some kind of little shelves you can actually put in a little garden patch with some vegetables or something, that kind of thing. There's lots of materials you can use for all of that, so we're just going to play around with some stuff, I guess, see what we can put together. Because I really have no plans. I haven't, it's been hard to get back into the swing of things, so usually I come a little bit better prepared. Oh, so you have like some time to switch between the two? Still, I think that would be weird to work different shifts from time to time. 1 or 2 weeks in a row. Well, as long as the pay's good, I guess. Or if you don't have trouble, switching. I know some people that, it doesn't matter, they can adjust very quickly, but for me, like jet lag and stuff, even that really bogs me down quite a bit. Okay, so you could do a small orchard if you want. We've done some trees and stuff in the past. Um, if you want to make your own tree, let's see, uh, trying to think of a good example. I think it's probably like if you start off with just say I don't know what I'm gonna do here, but like one of the things I like to do is like I'll take a base tree and then just uh, fluff it up. I tend to like overlap it quite a bit. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. Or enlarge it and then like push it down so it looks like bushes and stuff rather than just a tree. Or like say you want some trees but you don't want like the roots of it, you could just plop it down and then push it below. If you just want some little trees like that, you don't have to have the the trunk showing if you don't want to. But see, I'm trying to think something cheap here. Go with this one, I guess. Not too expensive. Like say you don't like the shape of this, or it's a little too skinny, or whatever, I would just fluff it up in a little more. I did this with the holiday tree I put in the mall. I put multiple trees together to make a bigger one. Notice some twisting and turning. You don't have to. You can make it so that uh, it's like the points, these little points coming out, you could have them turned inward. I think I'm gonna size these a little bit, maybe not that much. Okay, no problem. It gives you just a different kind of a shape of a tree. If you don't like it as, you get some of those trees that have a particular shape and you just want something a little different, you can do it like that. It's a little more costly because you're using multiple pieces for a single element, but, really depends. Now, of course, if you do it like this, unless you're clever about like angling the bases into a single base, you're going to have like the issue where the trunks, if you're wanting the trunks to show, they're going to be kind of jumbled up if you have it so that, see how these are showing through. That's why I have it pushed down so it's a little bit thicker to the back here, just to kind of give something for this little nook here. Um, Treetops are really good for bushes, like I said. Go to the tree section just so. Like probably the cheapest one is the olive one. Again, it's just another way of getting some kind of bushes that you normally wouldn't get. It's a different color than some of the brambles and stuff that we have. It's a little just a different color, something unusual. Again, I like using them for ground cover if I'm looking to fill up a large space, but I'm not necessarily wanting a lot of trees or something. So that makes a nice, you could pretend that's a pile of, I don't know, trees that have been trimmed or something. You could recolor that orange and pretend like it's a pile of fall leaves or something like that as well. You could add some flowers and things to kind of dress it up like it's a flower bush. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Like, might be a little too big. The main thing is not to have the vase showing. Um, Other features, you could have like a tiered shelf. You could do that if you wanted to stay with, well, if I wanted to stay with the book theme, I would just grab, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I do that too. I don't know. I think it just depends on what plot I'm working on. Like I've done it on other plots. Uh, I'm pretty sure I did it with like the Pokemon plot and everything, but I don't know. It's weird because it's just maybe it's just not something we. I think part of it is I don't want to repeat something constantly, like I do with I get hung up on like using the books for all the stuff, so I kind of avoid it for a little bit. But let's see. I want to add a new deal before I forget what I'm talking about here. But it's kind of like when it comes to like floors and things, you tend to use or walls, you tend to use the floors. But a lot of people use the travel posters or rugs and everything. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that you can forget about other flat things that you could use, like the books and stuff. I mean, the books could be used as walls as well, or floors. It's just that their thickness gets a little out of hand. But oh, yeah, I don't know why we do it like that. But let's say we want like some kind of a tiered shelf. Now, this could be for outside, inside, on the porch, wherever you want it. Side where I want that lined up. Now you can make it wider. I'm just keeping mine narrow, so. And you can double up on the books if you don't want this open edge. Just turn the books so that the spine covers up all of the open. I'm just leaving it like that. I don't mind it too much. I just leave the cleaner edge for the front of the shelf. And again, when you're making these little decorations and stuff, I strongly recommend you do them in a what I call a right angle type of deal, where it's at 90 degrees or 0 degrees or whatever you want to call it. And then once you have it complete and have made a little set out of it, then you go ahead and twist it and turn it however you want. Like if you want it angled here or something, build it straight first and then turn it. It's much easier to work with that way. Trust me. Let me just some of these up together. sure I get all of this together now. So let's say that this is how I want it to be. I'm done with whatever I'm going to do to. Now, by rights, I would probably add all of the little flowers and stuff that I want to put on it. But just say that you have that already set. Then you could go around and turn it. The thingy, I think it's, yeah. Yeah, if you want it slightly angled or whatever, I would probably still try and keep it straight myself, but if you're wanting like tools and things, probably the easiest would be like you have the garden hose for like water bits, but you know, if you need like some kind of a what do you call it? Some way of connecting it to a water source or something, just use one of the like barrels or something to like container we got here. There's the actual water tower bits that you can use. I think it's called the rusted water tower. If you don't want to do that, use a tank for it. I'm using this because I think it matches better with the color. Obviously don't have to do it like this, but use. So anything can become, pretend like it's a water source or something. It doesn't have to be an actual water tank or water well or however you want to put it. If you don't like the handles showing, just push them down. That's fine. I just figure it kind of looks like little tubes or something, maybe where it gets the water from the house or whatever. Probably the best, like a picture, not picture, pitcher, like a watering can or something. I would say is the sipper cup. If you want one that's standalone, this one here. It's probably the best one because it has, you know, actual container and the little spout that comes off. This is the one that a lot of people use is like for the water faucet or like the sink. They just sink it down so you just see this part. And the handle's real good for door handles and stuff too if you can angle it just right. But this is probably a really good just standalone kind of water pitcher if that's what you're wanting. If you want to go more, excuse me, I think I inhaled a dust bunny. If you want to go a little differently, like making your own, probably I'm all choked up. A bucket. We'll just set that here so that you can see. I'm going to turn it this way. A little excited there. And then I would use like a hammer. it all straight, crunch it down. Trying to make like a little spout thing. Don't know if people actually understand that that's what it is. I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe I should have it upside down. Let me try it this way. Probably going to look weird because of the handle of the bucket itself, but by this one. Another one you could try using is the what's it called? The fuel can. That might work as well. The sipper cup though is craftable, so I would probably, if I had thought ahead, I would have just went ahead and got one of those. So, and just called it done. Turn it. Something like that. I think the sipper cup would be better though. Oh, okay. I'll check that. Uh, Part 3 of the gazebo. Do you remember what date that was? Is that the one that's on the island in the sky? I noted it down to look. I don't know why the links don't work sometimes. Oh, I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, that's the one in the on the little floaty island. The one that he accidentally created after I put it together, and he had to rebuild it based on my videos, which was kind of sad and funny. I think he was worried that I was going to be upset, so he didn't tell me until after he'd already rebuilt it. Let's put this down on the ground, I guess. And of course, if you're looking for like little like spades and stuff like that, I would use just oversized utensils. Like the spoon is good for like a little spade. The actual spade item, it's too long of a handle. But yeah, he was trying to move it, I think, and I don't know, he ended up accidentally creating the whole thing. And so he watched the video that I had posted. Thankfully, I had actually filmed a good portion of it, and he rebuilt it from scratch that way. For if you want to do different pots, obviously the cups and things are good for that. Bowls as well. But it doesn't have to be actual hollow items. You could use one of the the vases here. Like the beer can, that could be a little flower pot kind of thing. And it even has a little pretty design on it, so you might like that better actually. Any of the bottles would work. Trying to think what else. Well, some of the containers and things. I mean, it doesn't even have to be round. If you just want something that looks like it's trying to get something that's not basic brown, but all of them seem to be brown. Like, let's just use. And what else can we do? Well, I appreciate you checking on that stuff. Was you looking for something in particular, or you just happen to go through the videos every now? I don't know how he did it, Bones. All I know is that he ended up creating the part. I don't know if he had it like linked up as a set. I really can't remember if I did that back then, if I linked them at all as a set or what. I just know that he waited a while before he told me what had happened, because it actually looks different than what I originally. Because like the top of the gazebo, the little, it did like a little pyramid thingy up at the top. That's actually not there anymore. He left that off. But I don't know how it happened, and it just did. And I wasn't upset or anything, and I was glad he was able to rebuild it as much as he did. But it was just one of those things. Now that we have KBT and we're a little bit more familiar with it and everything, having that kind of an accident happen isn't as horrible. There's still a lot of people that aren't familiar with it and don't use it, but it just shows you there's times when it's a really good idea to get in the habit of saving things, because you just never know how it's going to be. Let's see, some fruit here. I don't know why I'm dropping the fruit, but I think more as a reminder to myself. Okay, so here again, it could be just like the flower boxes we did over here. Pick some plants or something. It doesn't even have to be flowery. If you want it flowery, you can add those in. But if you want to use like say we use the little ginkgo tree again as an example, like say, man, I didn't close my curtain and now the sun's coming out. I'm gonna regret that. The main thing is if you use a tree as part of your arrangement, you're going to have to make sure that it's small enough that it fits in your little container, your little pot. And of course, if you're using, most of the trees have some kind of a movement, so that's, make sure you watch how it sits, how it moves. So if you have it pretty close to like the edge. You can see if it's going to move out of the edge and then poke out the side, that kind of thing. It's just like when you're putting bushes up against the house. You want to make sure it's not, when the wind blows, it's not like seeping into the inside. I've had that happen a lot. No, I'm not going to close the curtain. But like, try this here. No, actually, that doesn't bother me, strangely. It's just, I'm using the shadow of my own head as being able, it just makes it where the screen, I don't see all the details. This is actually how I did my little bonsai tree. Oh, do I have a weird halo? Well, just ignore that. You guys don't need to be looking at my picture anyway. It's mostly just to cover up the chat. Not that there's really much going on in the chat right now, but let's say we want to give it like maybe it's a little orange tree or something. Let's see, let me switch this. Better if I could just make it so there's just a couple of them instead of that whole bunch. That ain't gonna work either. It's my saintly side showing up. That's what it is. But have you ever seen those little miniature like orange trees or something, like little mandarins or whatever? That's kind of what we're going. Not exactly what I envisioned, but close enough. Hey Faye, good morning. Um, for like a little bit grassier bit, the bushes section is the best place to look for those. Um, Probably my fave is the brambles, but if you don't want to go with those, the dark mossy bushes are next fave. And then probably the least fave for me is the ferns because they're so open. You have to use a lot more of them um, to get it to cover up so that there's not a lot of see-through. Uh, Another good one is the overgrowths. Those are nice, especially if you have a tray. Those make good for covering a long, lengthy part. These I don't use so much. I'm not sure why. I think they're just too spindly, and you have to use quite. I think the only place I've used them was on the Valentine plot for some of the bushes that I made, and just didn't really use them too much. But like, say you want to add something for the box. again, pay attention to how it overhangs, how big it is. Back to the box. And then again, one of the faves, like if you want to make some kind of like a little berry bush, the firecrackers are probably the best for that because there's multiples. And again, if you haven't unlocked the firework decor from the Starfall event, if you happen to miss out on it, maybe you're just a starting player right now. If you can find somebody that you trust that has it unlocked, they can actually come to your plot, become a roommate of your plot, and buy these items for you. Now, it's not that they unlock it for you. So if they purchase it on your plot, say they buy you 10 of these, if you use all 10 up and you want 10 more, you'll have to invite them back to purchase some more for you. But one way of getting the materials in the off chance that you missed out on it before. You can do this with other things that are red if you want. It's just, I think you would only have to use a few of these to make it look like a full berry bush. Then if you use an individual item for all of each single berry kind of thing. It's just, again, kind of pay attention to what it looks like from all directions. If you don't want any of that orange color showing through. Hi, Krish. Glad you could join. And again, I would probably go ahead and fill out some in the back since it is something that we can see all the way around. Now, if this was up against a wall or in the corner of a house or something, I wouldn't bother. But since it's outdoors and people can actually see the other side, you might want to make sure you. Same way with like a holiday tree, if you're decorating it. I tended to put mine up against the wall, so I only had to worry about the front and a little bit of the sides. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying yourself. Is it your first time playing or you're a returning player? Because I know we got a lot of returning ones too. Let's see, let's try a different color over here. What do we do? Did I spell that wrong? I did. Here, hold on a sec. Let me starting to get a little annoying. Oh. There we go. I have closed the curtain. Are you coming to us from a different game or just trying this out completely new to the genre and everything? There you go, some different types of little flowers. Um, this one I would probably also be tempted to add red because it really pops against that blue. But if you want something different, you're trying to think, you could, I don't know, um, look in the bushes. Sometimes when I'm doing these little random plants and stuff, if I'm looking to fill in a little corner, like in a kitchen, there's a little spot that needs a plant, or in a house corner or something. I tend to use things that I don't normally use otherwise. So I look for stuff that I don't normally use the dark moss bush, except around the holidays maybe. But like the tulips, I don't use them too much. They might make a good addition to this particular little arrangement. They're the same color for one. Ah, almost looks like little budding flowers of some sort. Um, yeah, I've made some others. It's usually just pieces I don't normally use a lot of. It's like the trees. I don't use the trees too much because, again, I tend to avoid landscaping, so I'm really awful about it. But like this, with the little grain, or not grain sacks, but the little tan sack, you could pretend that's like just a tree that's being prepped to be, like you've seen it, it comes from the nursery in a little sack. And again, we've discussed how you can make little dirt piles. Really anything brown and lumpy can get away with it, but probably the fave is the sandbags as a lumpy pile of dirt. And if you want to make it look like little bits of dirt, you can either, I would imagine you could use like the uh, the stones from the upside down, oh, what's it called? The bulletin board. The one that we've seen, it's a gray stone and you can use it for a pathway. If you recolored that to a brown, maybe, I don't know if we've got any, if the color tinting would work to make it look brownish, maybe kind of an orange, maybe would look, I think it would really depend. But like, see if I can show you what I'm talking about. You're wanting like a little bit of stray dirt piles instead of just one big lump. You have that. I don't know if that will. Yeah, see, that almost looks brownish. It looks almost like the upside down barnacle weed. Looks like chocolate. But that could be like little bits of clumps of dirt that have scattered. Again, using the oversized spoon as a shovel, or just using the spade. The only problem with the spade is, as we showed before, is when it comes in, depending on how you turn it, it can look solid. So it looks solid this way, but if you turn it over, it glitches out and looks like it's hollow in the center. Some have used that to their advantage, again, making like little fondue forks for their little dining table by purposefully turning it this way or that. But like, say you have this propped up in the dirt as if somebody's, preparing to shovel or just finished shoveling. Depending on what angle they're looking at it from, it'll look proper, but from this direction it won't. So if you want to make sure that that isn't mistakenly looked at kind of weirdly, then make sure you position it in a way so that they are less likely to see it from the wrong side. It's like the fireplace that we did inside. I have one turned one way and one turned the other way. So it looks like two different tools, but it's really the same thing. It's just I'm taking advantage of the glitching for it. There's a lot of items that do that, especially when you turn them upside down, like say the moss bush here. It looks solid from this direction, but if you turn it upside down, it's actually hollow. Just one of those weird things. Same thing with the, I think it's the treasure pile. From the top, it looks like a pile of gold with some vases and things, but if you turn it upside down, the gold disappears and the vases look like rubble. So you can use it in a fun way that way if you're just looking for some like broken dishes and stuff, and not wanting the extra gold pile. If you use it upside down, but again, it's one of those things that, pay attention to how you've got it set up, and then if you don't want your viewers looking at it from a certain direction, make sure that you fix it that way. So let's say I want this only viewed from this direction, so it looks like an actual spade shovel kind of thing going on. Then I would link it all up together and probably push it closer to the stone so that they're less likely to check it out from that direction. And their camera won't necessarily get up in there. Does that make sense? I hope that does. So like they're preparing to plant the little tree here, that kind of thing. Let's see what else. So yeah, just about anything, boxes, bottles, bowls, cups, anything really could become a container. The little sack itself, you could use the bucket if you wanted. A lot of it might depend on, the sneeze coming on. Oh, the colors. Excuse me. The colors. Um, Maybe this one looks a little fancier than this one. It looks a little more elegant because it's tapered on the bottom, that kind of thing. It really depends on, your decor, what you're using. Again, with the shifting, the color tinting that we have available now, some of that might not matter necessarily. Like maybe you don't really have a red setup, but you could later change this to a different color. Say I have all of mine are blue or whatever. I could just color shifted to a bluish color if I wanted. That here. Just remember these are tints. They aren't actual really solid colors. And it doesn't affect every decor piece the same. Like one example is door. Here you have the preview of the red door. If you color shift it, like see, it doesn't really turn a solid yellow. Mostly the color is attached to the bracketry. So it's not quite as vibrant as, say, the actual red. But other things pick up the color really nice, like if you're using, say, one of the floors. It picks up the color a lot, a little bit more brighter. I mean, you have a good solid pink and things like that. So just have to try it out. Part of it, I've been paying close attention to others that have been using it and seeing how it looks there. Because sometimes the preview isn't even good. You really want to look at it as it's in the on the plot itself. Excuse me. So let's see. Let's add a couple more, I guess. We'll just put something. Again, if you're going for like this bit here, where we were talking about putting in like some more flowers around the front, if you want to do it that way. Probably one of my favorites is the potted, the blue pod. See if I can find it. Yeah, this one here. Because like the vase that we use for the window boxes, how they have multiple plants and flowers, you get a lot. It's like more for your buck or whatever. It's the same way with this. You just sink it down so that the box itself is hidden, and then you have this nice little arrangement of flowers. I use this one a lot. You can size it up however you want. If you want like a little bit taller, you just got to sink it down and position it so that it's not tall. But it's a really quick way to fill up a space and still have it look like it wasn't planned that way. I think it was one of my first garden items. So handy to have it multiples. And then if you want to dress it up even more, just add in some extra little bits here and there. Now, since it comes with its own dirt, you could just leave it completely out of this little framework here. You can't really tell that it's there now because I have it pushed so far down. But like say I didn't have this part here, I would still get some dirt because it has a little bit of a raised pile there. It's a good way to make some quick little flower beds. Like I said, I've used it quite a bit in the past. And now that you have the color shifting, you can change it up even more. It doesn't have to stay blue. And again, if you notice, because of the tinting, it's not that it's only going to color the flowers, it's going to color everything. So if you're looking for some red, everything's going to have that red tint to it, even the dirt. It's going to almost look like bloody dirt. But you know, if you're going for a particular theme or whatever, that would be, like, say you want an assortment of these in different colors, different shades. That's how you would do it. I don't want to tint them though. Again, the cost is kind of steep. That's why I say use it sparingly. Don't overdo it. It's not that you have to use the color tinting. Um, for some, it's not too pricey. For others, it is. So just, again, use it at your own discretion as far as what you can afford. That's why I'm kind of continuing to build without using the shifting too much. I show where you can use it, but I'm trying not to really go overboard in that. I know there were some that as soon as it hit and they were able to, they just wanted to recolor the entire plot. I was like, well, that's a little expensive for me. Said I wasn't going to fill this whole thing in, but I'm going to do it. I'm trying to show how when you're decorating with plants here, it's going to be the same thing as it is in real life. If you have like a space, you're going to want to put the taller plants in the back and let the smaller ones be up front. Because for one, we don't want to completely obscure the little flower tray here. So I'm keeping these kind of on the small side and letting the taller ones come up in the back here. And again, by twisting and turning and rotating and all that, it kind of keeps it so it doesn't look all 100% like a garden, like you planted it. It's identical all the way around. You don't want it to be like that. There we go, that looks pretty. Okay. See. I think we're going to go ahead and call it for today. Starting to feel my head fill up. Every time I sneeze, it just makes my sinuses go gooey. But tomorrow we'll see about doing some more of the interior stuff. I'm going to try and figure out what exactly direction I'm going to go with this little painting thing. I don't think the Cairo desert is exactly ideal for this. I might go ahead and leave it and just see if I can make a camel or something, but I'm not sure if that's going to be recognizable. And I'll see if we'll do something different with these. Maybe try and make the design a little bit more uniform, and maybe just some kitchen, like not kitchen, but like wall hangings for that, for the butterflies or something. But we'll see about that tomorrow. Remember, if you're not really interested in all these little doodads that I do on the side, I know that's not for everybody. In fact, a lot of my little small projects, you know, that's not the style that a lot of people build. They like more like, I don't really do the grand, big, um, full-fledged plots anymore. Um, so it gets into where I pay attention to a lot more detail. So I'm more willing to spend like 50 decor on a single little aspect, as opposed to using that same amount of decor to like maybe make a whole building that would fill up a great portion of the plot. I get that a lot of people like that kind of building, but mine is a little bit more focused. So they're a little bit more item intensive and aren't necessarily something that, it's not like I could get this detailed for an entire plot. I've tried it and you just run out of space. But for little projects like this, I feel like I can splurge, so I don't mind going into those details. So if you're not really interested in that, be sure and join us on Wednesdays, because we do hold weekly house tours. This is where we get a chance to see other people's work, not my junk. And be able to see a variety of themes. I mean, we've seen space stations and dining, like restaurants, medical facilities, bars, um, museums, you name it, we've seen it. From the everyday run-of-the-mill general residences to really more specialized places, even ones that are based on other games, movies, that kind of thing. If you're interested in that, seeing a bigger, wider variety of what's possible for WildStar Housing, then be sure and join us on Wednesday for that. We do archive all of our videos, even these everyday goofy ones. So if you've just now got into checking these streams out, be sure and check out some of our past videos, because I think we're up to, well, I know we've got over 400 videos in total, but I think we're getting close to the, I would say 80, 90 house tour episodes. It's probably well over 300 and something houses in total that we've taken a look at. It varies from week to week how many we hit. It can be anywhere from like 2 to 5 or so. No worry, Crush. You're getting back at the tail end though, unfortunately. If you have any quick questions though, be sure and ask. I'll be happy to hang out a few more minutes to answer them. But we all hope you're enjoying it. Glad you decided to join us and everything. But yeah, so if you're interested in checking out what all WildStar Housing could mean for you, basically, if you have it in your imagination, you have the time and the patience to offer it, you can build whatever you can dream up. From tree houses to underwater cities to just about anything, really. But if you want to see some great examples of that, Wednesday's the best time to catch us. Now, we do hold a monthly CBDC, this is kind of part of that. It's a custom built decor challenge that I myself issue to fellow builders. It's nothing, there's no prizes, no judging, no anything like that. It's just a for funsies type of deal, where if you want to kind of stretch your boundaries, try something new, just get out of your funk. Maybe you've got builder's block and have been working on a project and you just need something to kind of get you off of that and a little bit distracted. That's what these monthly challenges are for. And this month's theme is romance. And the catch is I'm offering to give you the standard little cottage here. It's without all this decoration that I've added to it. It's just the house frame itself, the porch and the roof and everything. It doesn't come with any glass, but it does have the gaps for the windows if you want to include them. Um, I think it's 231 pieces altogether. And if you'd like to participate in the CBDC, just reach out to me via Twitter, Twitch, in-game message, or forum PM, and I will hook you up with the set code for this. It does require you to be able to use and be familiar with how to work with importing and exporting set codes in KBT, the add-on. But if you're unfamiliar with it and have trouble with it, I'm happy to install it myself for you. I think we figured out it was about 27 gold in total if you want to install it. So it's not like dirt cheap, but it's not super expensive either. Everything comes from the housing vendor, so it's really easy to get a hold of. It's not like you have to grind up any special items or anything. But the object of the challenge is to decorate the cottage that you get. It doesn't have to be an actual, have all the comforts of home. If you want to just make it a coffee house or a tea room or a garden shed, that's entirely up to you how you interpret how you're going to do it. But it does need to have one heart element, either a motif like on the windows here, or an actual heart item like the little plushy pillow thing that we've got going up here. Something along those lines. Just one. And it doesn't even have to be red. So, yeah. All right, Bones. Yeah, we're probably going to be heading off. So we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. And have a good day. But yeah, we've done this kind of little modular house bit before, and I thought folks might have fun doing that for the Valentine's Day holiday. Just throwing a little bit of love and cuddlies into the game for a little bit, because it seemed that WildStar themselves, I haven't seen any kind of sign of them opening up the little package that they did last year. Of course, it's still a day away. Maybe they'll do it actually for tomorrow. But yeah, I think last year they didn't actually have an event tied to Valentine's, but they had that little decor pack with the plushies and the bed, the little heart bed, I guess. So maybe they'll bring that back. I'm not sure. But if not, this is your opportunity to throw in your own, make your own stuff like we did with the little rose we put together last week, that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope you guys had fun. No, it's not a whole lot that we did today. It always seems like we do nothing, but maybe it gave you some ideas for some items that you might not normally think about using them in certain ways, to dress up your house a little differently than the usual. Again, like with using the tops of trees as bushes instead of always just using them as trees, that kind of thing. It seems like common sense that you could do that, but a lot of people, including myself, didn't think about it for a long time. So, if you're looking for a particular shade of green or you want it a little darker, a little lighter, that's one way to get it rather than resorting to the whole color shifting thing, which is a little bit more expensive. So, and it gives you some extra variety. So yeah. Oh, have they? I really haven't seen anything, but I think the only thing I saw was it was on Peregrine's. Let's see, let me see if I can find it. Their actual. I can't think of it. Their profile page. I think there was something with hearts on that, but I can't remember if it was a costume piece. I want to say there was like hearts coming off of them, so I don't know if maybe it was a toy that's coming up. So yeah, fingers crossed that something's coming. It's just they just wait so long. And I know if it's if it's something they introduce on the day, I hope it's not like a 1 day only, because I know a lot of people will be upset about that. But anyway, so yeah, something to look forward to, I guess. Again, for those that decide to participate in the CBDC, we will be having the showcase at the end of the month. That means, you have at least a few more weeks before I come around and start taking some pictures. And then we'll be, of course, doing the live broadcasts where we come and take a look at everything that you put together. Again, you can keep it as small or as big as you want. If you just want to put the little house in the corner and decorate that little house, and that's it, that's perfectly fine. If you want to take it to like some seem to be doing and just building an entire plot or mini plot around it, that's perfectly fine too. We'll show it all. So just the main point is to have fun with it. Trying to keep it as open and flexible as possible for those that have a certain idea and don't want to feel too constrained to any particular rules. But yeah, you can find out more about that. There's I think Boy listed the post earlier. It's in the forums, the official forums, in the housing subforum, and all the description is there in case you want to get into it. And if this particular theme doesn't interest you, check back next month. Maybe that theme will strike a chord with you, and you can get in on that one. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate the tweets, the retweets, the follows, the votes, the company, and hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.